Hi guys, welcome back to the Home and Homestead. If you're new, I'm Rebecca. Today we're going to be heading to the kitchen and we're going to make a no-bake dessert. This is a wonderful sweet treat you can have, and it does not heat up the kitchen in order to make it. All that you'll need is a graham cracker crust and 3 ingredients, and you have a delicious no-bake frozen dessert when we're making some raspberry lemonade frozen pie. This has a great flavor, similar to that of like a sherbet or maybe like a soft serve type of ice cream pie. You can top it with some whipped cream and fresh berries if you'd like, and the variety you choose to make really just depends on what flavor of frozen juice concentrate that you use for the recipe. We really enjoy the raspberry lemonade, so that's the variety I'm going to be making with you today. So let's head over to the kitchen and get our ingredients together for making our raspberry lemonade frozen pie. So the first thing we need for making our raspberry lemonade frozen pie is a graham cracker crust. Now you can either use a store-bought crust or you can make your own homemade. Be sure to check out my video on how I make some homemade graham crackers as well as homemade brown sugar, which both of those ingredients I use when making my homemade graham cracker crust. You can also make a homemade crust using some store-bought graham crackers, which is what I have here. Ultimately, you want to end up with 1.5 cups of graham cracker crumbs. So what I'm going to do is crumble up one sleeve, or about 9 graham crackers, for making our graham cracker crust. Alright, so we have our graham cracker crumbs here. We're also going to need a 1/4 cup of brown sugar and a 1/2 cup or 1 stick of butter that's been melted. And we're going to combine these to make our graham cracker crust. Then what we're going to do is press it into our pie dish. So you can use a 9 or 10-inch pie pan here. I have a glass one. We're simply going to press that graham cracker crust into the pie pan. Then once you have your graham cracker crust pressed into the pie pan as you'd like it, we need to refrigerate this for at least 30 minutes. Let's go put this in the refrigerator so it can set up a bit, then we can prepare the filling and add it to our crust. Now that our pie crust is chilling, we can get our filling ingredients ready. It just takes 3 ingredients. First, we're going to add 1 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. And to this, we're going to add 1 12-ounce can of frozen juice concentrate. And again, we like the raspberry lemonade flavor. And then what you want to do is thaw this. So I thawed this in the refrigerator. So now it's more of a liquid form. We're just going to mix that together with the sweetened condensed milk. Now you can play around with whatever flavored frozen juice concentrate you would like to use. A limeade would be really refreshing and delicious. It would be kind of like a take on a key lime pie, or even maybe a margarita type of pie, which would be fun for a themed dinner or get together. And now we're going to add the final ingredient for the filling, which is 1 8-ounce container of whipped topping. You can use whichever brand or variety that you prefer. We like the extra creamy, so that's what I'm going to be using today. We'll just put the whole container in there. And then we'll just fold that in. And you're just going to fold that in until the juice concentrate and sweetened condensed milk has incorporated and combined with that whipped topping. And here we have our frozen pie filling. So now let's go get our prepared homemade graham cracker crust. If you're using store-bought, you would simply use that instead. So now that our graham cracker crust has been chilling in the refrigerator for about a half hour, it has set up nicely. So now we can add our raspberry lemonade frozen pie filling to our crust. And it fills it up nicely. So what we're going to do is just place this in the freezer for at least 8 hours. And that way our frozen pie can set up and be ready to serve. What I like to do is usually make this ahead of time, allow it to freeze overnight, or I make it first thing in the morning and then we can have it for dessert for dinner. So now let's get this raspberry lemonade frozen pie into the freezer to set up, and then we can cut into it and have a taste of this delicious frozen dessert. All right, here we have our no-bake dessert of our raspberry lemonade frozen pie. This has been in the freezer overnight, so now we can cut into it and enjoy a nice and refreshing frozen dessert. You can either enjoy this as is, or you can add some whipped cream topping, maybe some fresh berries. If you enjoy the chocolate with berry combination, you can drizzle some chocolate syrup, or maybe even do a chocolate graham cracker crust or Oreo cookie crumble crust as well. That would be a nice combination with the chocolate and berry. Just use your imagination when creating this really easy and refreshing dessert you can enjoy, especially during the hot seasons of the year. So let me just cut into this raspberry lemonade frozen pie that we made together here. This has been sitting on the counter for about 5-10 minutes now. And here we have a closer look of our raspberry lemonade frozen pie. This has a nice, light and refreshing flavor to it. It's about the consistency of like a soft serve ice cream or like a sherbet. This is wonderfully refreshing on a hot summer day. So now I'll show how we like to serve this. With a little whipped cream and some fresh berries, and your dessert is ready to enjoy. So if you're looking for an easy and sweet dessert to make during the warmer months of the year especially, or when you don't want to heat up your kitchen, I hope you consider making this raspberry lemonade frozen pie. And as I mentioned earlier, there's many other combinations you can use or try out for making this dessert. You would just switch out that frozen juice concentrate to make your different flavor that you wanted to make. So you could do limeade as the juice concentrate. That would make a delicious key lime pie type of take on the dessert, or like a margarita type of flavor or inspired frozen dessert. So that would be fun to try. As well as whatever juice combinations you see for the frozen juice concentrates, then you could just use that particular flavor for your frozen pie. It's very easy to do, just involves a few ingredients, and once frozen, you have a delicious dessert to enjoy. So if you'd like some more ideas or inspiration on other sweet treats or dessert recipes, be sure to check out my playlists on the topics, as well as a number of different recipes and food preservation methods and gardening that I have on my channel. If you happen to be new to the channel, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe. So please be sure to hit that subscribe button below and continue to watch my channel, The Home and Homestead, for some more homemade, homegrown, and home style inspiration. I hope that you're having a really great day. See you next time. Take care.